times there was, we know what through playing out and through our own problems we caused. But overall, like I say, it's 3 points. We're up there, and Mavididi took his goal well. He'll be pleased with that. Good to see Vardy get a run out in the end, and we certainly Huddersfield had a go in the last 10 minutes. They could have been up and up on the counter, but the 1-0 performance is good, and clean sheet. We'll be happy with that. Enzo, you're looking at your next game already now, and it's a good start to the season. That's solid what we needed.
Yeah, I think on the back of that, I think Maresca were obviously delighted with the points first and foremost. Not so much the performance, but there were certain aspects of it you look and think, elements of the game that are going to be required through the season. It's not all going to be plain sailing, nice, pretty, articulate football. They're going to have to dig in and scrap and be solid at times. And I think, much as we said at half time, and it happened less so, I think they gave the ball away cheaply in dangerous areas. But when it came to the crunch, the decisive defensive aspect of it, they were quite steady today, weren't they? And I thought Jerry Taggart got the man of the match bang on in my view and our view. I know that Wout Faes didn't put a foot wrong all day, and the rest of the defensive line was solid when it mattered. Limited Huddersfield really, who huffed and puffed a little bit, didn't they? But Leicester, far from being at their best, produced the 3 points, and you just think, someone from somewhere is going to produce something at the moment, and they're still developing. Still quite a long way to go. You can see that, I think, but it was a bit scruffy and scrappy, really, wasn't it? More so than Maresca would have liked. But not playing to their optimum, but getting wins is a good sign.
Yeah, that's all they need to do. I guess in the Championship, there's going to be games like that, Walshy, where you go away from home, things are tough, but you grind out a 1-0 win.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games. There's a lot more games, as we all know, in the Championship. So they'll keep coming and turning over, and that's why it's so important to get a good start to your season. You build that momentum early, and you look at the fixtures. We've got favourable games coming up, and overall he'll be happy with the performance. Still a lot of pros and cons as we've discussed earlier, and there still is. But listen, it's a work in progress, and like I said at the start of the show, there's been a lot of changes, and sometimes you've got to just be patient, and I think we are as fans, and we're getting the rewards, and they'll be pleased with the clean sheet more than anything. I think that shows that solidarity between the defence now and the confidence with the players will be at a high. So it's a win-win today, and we lived through some moments in that game where Huddersfield could have had a goal, especially the first half. They missed a glorious chance, as we know, but we had our own chances. We looked dangerous on the break. We looked a fast countered team. Just got to be, when the ball's turned over, we've just got to get back into that shape quicker than we do, and it can't be, a counter, if you will. It was a good performance overall. And we were the better team, there's no doubt. They worked hard, did Huddersfield. They gave it the best. They did work hard, and but in the end, I thought they tired a little bit towards the end. I think the fitness levels looked good for Leicester. Pratt had another chance in that second half where he could have, he could have had 2 goals today. But still, we've got a lot to learn still, and. I thought we did, like I said, we defended corners and free kicks better than we normally do. That was a positive, and overall there was some good. You look at Ricardo, Doyle, good performances overall. Mavididi, as we see, and it was just good to see him get that goal, and that little step over, and solid shot, went through the keeper's legs, a bit of power on it. It looked good.
Yeah, Jerry, obviously you saw it live in front of you. Were you impressed with the way that Leicester ground out that victory today?
Yeah, well, we've spoken about that, haven't we, ever since last week when the season started. Really, that you're going to have to grind out results, especially against Neil Warnock teams, and you needed to be solid defensively, which they were, and find that little bit of magic right at the right moment from Mavididi. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more games like this, Dan. It's still work in progress as far as the system is concerned, and getting it absolutely spot on for the majority of the 90 minutes or so. But they're picking up results. They're picking up wins, should I say, which is always a good sign. I think, if you ask Enzo where he thinks they are in terms of reaching the pinnacle of playing in this sort of formation, in this type of football, he'd probably say around about 60-65%. So that tells you that there's a bit more to come from these guys, but they're still winning games. So it looks exciting for the future.
As it stands as well, Jerry, that there's still a couple of minutes to play in the Norwich-Southampton game, where it's currently 4-4 in that one. If it stays that way, then Ipswich and Leicester are the only two teams with 2 wins from 2 at the start of the season.
Yeah. Ipswich, great win last week away at Sunderland. And then, obviously again today. So, yeah, and they've been coached and managed by a man who's got, a really... is he really well thought of in regards to his coaching style as well? I've not seen them yet. I listened to some of the game on the way back after the Coventry game, and it sounded like they thoroughly deserved that result. So, yeah, but it's a good start. All you can worry about really is yourself, and try and beat what's put in front of you. Today, Leicester were a better team. Let's make no bones about that. And today they defended manfully when they needed to, and that's another thing that they're going to have to do throughout the course of this season. They're not going to have it all their own well. Yes, they were a standout team today in regards of their play, the movement and everything else, but there's always that sucker punch just waiting around the corner, and especially when you play against a Neil Warnock team. They won't play against a team like this every week, that's for sure. They'll play against teams that will come and have a go at Leicester, and that may well suit them better. So yeah, they've answered another question, and it's as simple as that. They've gone away from home, first away game in the league, and they've taken all 3 points. You can't really ask more than that.
So Jerry, James on the commentary mentioned about a bit of booing and derision from the Huddersfield home fans, but was that directed at the Leicester team in any manner, or was it at the home side?
I'm not really sure if it was. Whether they thought there should have been a bit more added time put on it, I'm not sure. Whether it was at the home fans, I don't think it was at the Leicester fans, no, or at the Leicester players, no. So I'm not really sure. But
just looking for a bit of controversy. So.
Jerry, what did you think? The 2 bookings were dissent for us today. I think Winks was, that
hard
was
done too.
Ridiculous, wasn't
hard
it?
done too. The shirt was nearly ripped off his back. The referee's in a great position to see that. He should give a free kick for Leicester. I don't know why he hasn't. Now Harry Winks, in fairness, he has he has a case there for the referee to answer, but he's just a little bit over exuberant in his deliberation with the referee, and I think that's why he got yellow carded. But really, the referee should pick up on that. I could see it.
We could see it as
over
well,
100
mate,
yards away from where the incident happened. The referee's 10-15 yards tops away, and how he can't see that. The same with Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
A free kick's been given against him. Really. It's in the opposition's box, no harm's done. Okay, you don't like the decision, but just get back on side and go again. So yeah, we just got to be careful in those situations.
Let's talk about the goal. Steffi Mavididi picked it up in on that left hand side, didn't he? You said it, Walshy, the classic step over.
Yeah, it's
some things
it's
never change, do they?
You teach kids this, don't you? And but I think that you've got to try that now and again and go down the outside. I don't think we do it enough. A lot of wingers now, they're built, they're right-footed on the left side and vice versa. But no, look, he showed that pace that he's got, and I was pleased that he he did that. He almost fooled the fullback and got that yard to get his shot away. And he put a bit of power behind it. It didn't look like it was that much power, but when you look at it closely, it was a good finish. And the keeper couldn't really do too much about that because it was close in, it was powerful, it was on target, and he deserved the goal. So well done.
Yeah, all those things, but fortunate as well at the end of the day, because not telling me he tried to put it through the keeper's legs. The keeper didn't have much time to react, but he'll be disappointed. And if it happens at the other end, Stolarczyk's getting a little bit of stick, isn't he? So, but you take your chances, and sometimes it comes off for you. He hasn't really sort of guided it into an exact spot. Like you say, the quick step over, the quick feet, bang, got the shot off. That's what got him the goal, because the keeper couldn't react quick enough, couldn't set, etc. So
he made a couple of good saves, did Nichols?
Yeah.
Especially the second half, Dewsbury Hall, I think it was. And he got low, and he saved it. But overall,
to make it,
we had enough chances to win that game, and fully deserved it. You look at, we go to Coventry and they've won 3-0 today. If you're looking at other games, I know you shouldn't kind of do that this early, but I look at it and that's
makes last week look.
That's what that's what I was going to say. It looks at that. You look at that fixture, and if that's anything to gauge by. I mean, Coventry were good for 70 minutes in that game, and we took control in the end and stole it away from them, really. But it was a great win on the back of that. This was an important game. I think it was key that we got the result. Didn't matter how we get the result. Don't have to play good at away matches like this. And like I said, we're going to be going to tricky games. Plymouth again, I think, have got a result today. I think so these games are going to be key. Millwall away, I've said it before, and we're going to have win battles. You can't always play this silky football, and sometimes you've got to be ready for that. And I think by the looks of it, we are. You can go and play football, on a good pitch anywhere, but you'll come to grounds that are very intimidating, very close, and very, volatile. And then it's a test of mental strength, and we'll see. I think the lads haven't got any fear. So, you look at the squad as a whole, and there's a lot of players to come in yet. Cody, you've got Justin, terrific players. So he's got a good squad, and only thing was about if we can score enough goals, and we've unlocked that defence there. It took a while to do that, but we did create. Have we got the players in there to get 20 goals? Yeah, I think Iheanacho, Vardy still could do that. You've got other players now, that could get that 8-10 goals with Keane and Dewsbury Hall. Mavididi now, he's off the mark. So you've got to look and say there are goals in this team, but can they get the amount that we need? I don't know.
Well, hopefully so. As you said, Mavididi off the mark today. Jerry, what was the reaction like in the away end, not just to the goal, but pretty much to the whole game? I think we've talked a lot about patience, haven't we? The fans maybe need to be patient at the start of this Enzo Maresca reign.
So the fans were great today. Jimmy Vardy added his little 2 pennies worth, shall we say, when he came on. He got the crowd riled a little bit as well, which helped. And he obviously, when he came on, he sort of changed the dynamic. The pace of the game stepped up, and the other players responded to that. And that's exactly what the game needed at that moment in time, was a little bit of injection of pace into the game, tempo. And he certainly delivered that. And you look at Mavididi and his goal. Again, just injected that little bit of pace with a step over, pushing it down the line and letting fire. Just having a shot on target. Ends up in the back of the net. Perfect scenario for him. And as you would expect, all the players going towards the fans at the end of the game, showing their appreciation to them, and the fans obviously giving them a standing ovation. So, a good afternoon all round.
Yeah, I think both the boys, I've mentioned Mavididi, and yeah, rightly so. Ultimately, he was the decisive factor on the day. He does bring something a little bit different, doesn't he? Without a doubt. Also mentioned the point about, having that versatility, that capability to go outside and inside and keep the defender guessing, it's invaluable. It's invaluable, really, because if you're going one way all the time, it's too predictable. Defenders can double up against you and show you a certain way. But he did it numerous times, didn't he? I thought, not flatters to deceive is the wrong phrase, but I think there's better to come, and he'll get more and more confident and on the ball more, and he'll make space for himself better. 1v1 situations looks really dangerous. And he doesn't mind. He had a shot with his right foot which didn't connect with properly, got himself in a good position, but he was putting in crosses with his left foot. He had the shot that produced the goal with his left foot. So he's got that. He's a problem for defenders, and it's something that Leicester certainly need, have been lacking to a degree. I know you had Harvey Barnes, but some sort of different type of player, really. Mavridi's more of a sort of manipulator of the ball, and it's exciting to watch, and look forward to seeing him come across the season.
I think some of the decision making today was just not quite subtle enough at times. I looked at it and they got in really good positions, and especially that first half when and they just take that extra touch instead of just trying to play someone in. And
is that just rustiness at the start of the season?
No, you look. Good players have got that decision making, and it's not something you can learn. Of course you can, and you can start in training to do. I'm sure Enzo will be working with all these players to make them better players. There's no doubt. You can see some of the difference in them. So this will happen, and it's you when you're on that pitch. That decision comes down to you at the end of the day, and whatever options you've got on. Sometimes we're 3v2, and we're in towards the end, and Vardy slipped one in. It was probably the right decision, I think, that one. But in that first half, I thought we didn't clearly make the right decisions, and if we had, we could have scored a couple of goals.
I think without defending the players too much, because you can be guilty of that at times. It should have been better, but at times I think also some players are receiving the ball in situations that they're not ordinarily accustomed to. Different scenarios, like little slide rule passes are needed, perfect run timing of the run, etc. So it's all slowly being pieced together. I think that's the idea behind it. Sometimes it's just poor execution.
Yeah, it was
be
good
fair,
to see.
But I don't know, Dewsbury Hall is playing a slightly advanced role than he has done in times before, certainly as a youngster, and different players are having to adjust a little bit. So I think that will come together better down the line.
Yeah, it's good to see how they defended as a unit today, and there was a lot of crosses and balls came in towards that last 10-15 minutes, and they dealt with it pretty well.
Yeah, that
was good to see as a unit, and like I say, it's a confidence booster for to have that clean sheet, and it'd be interesting, when the keeper does come back, who will go and stay in goal.
Yeah,
but it's helped his cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly going forward, Jerry. Obviously, Huddersfield away under Neil Warnock will be one of the tougher away games. There are a lot of tough away games, but how much confidence do you think can they take from grinding out a 1-0 win today?
Yeah, well, I think for a lot of these players, it's a new experience. So that, again, you're coming into a little bit of the unknown. You can watch as many videos and and clips of games as you want, but until you're actually out on the pitch, first away game of the season against a notoriously difficult manager to try and get around his team, so a little bit of the unknown there, and to come away from that knowing, okay, listen, we didn't play our best football today. At times we played some really slick stuff. The move for the goal was excellent, I thought, so that will give them confidence moving forward. Absolutely. In every game for a lot of these players is going to be a little bit of the unknown, but they have to take confidence, believe in the process that Enzo's brought in, and I'm 100% sure that things, this will get better as the season goes on. They keep picking up results, keep trusting in the process, then things will get better, and hopefully the games will become a little bit easier as well. But you're right, there's a lot of difficult games, a lot of difficult away games coming up. Make no bones about that.
Jerry, obviously, I know you were giving your man of the match. I think you were interrupted because there was maybe a chance towards the end of the game. So do you want to just reiterate who you've given it to and why?
I think Matt gave it for me, didn't he?
Yeah, I forgot you didn't actually finish things off, Tags, but I knew which direction you were going, mate.
And what direction was that, Matt?
Well, fast, I'm guessing.
No.
No, there you go.
Well, who have you gone for, Jerry?
No, I'll tell you what, I'll give it to Wout Faes. It was Wout Faes or Harry Winks I was going to give it to. So there you go. I'll give it to Faes.
Yeah, I agree.
Uncontroversial today.
He played well today, he did.
Yeah, he done well. And I thought Harry Winks defensively today was as solid as anyone.
Jerry, I'm just going to interrupt because I think at any moment now we can get some live reaction from Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, thanks. It's a performance where we can learn many things. I exactly expect this kind of a game, because I know how difficult it is to play against a team that they defend so well. They are almost man-to-man. It's difficult to find solution space, but at the end we continue with our focus, the way we want to play, and I think it's quite deserved. Between first half and second half, we create many clear chances, 1v1 with the keeper. So at the end, good win.
And there's such a good team in this division that Leicester are likely to be against some teams. You're just going to have to wait for your moment, aren't you?
Exactly. It's just don't get frustrated, continue, and many passes until you can find the right space, the right solution. And as I said, I think we create between first half and second half 5-6 clear chances.
How do you compare it to last week in terms of what you wanted from your players and what you got? Did you learn anything more today?
Yeah, every game is different, man. Every game is different. Last week was completely different kind of game. Today, as I said, I expected this kind of game because they were aggressive, man-to-man. It's not easy to play 90 minutes with the opposite opponent next to you. It's difficult.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ricardo got man-marked, especially in that second half, and didn't really have much room to play in, and you could see that they were just happy for your two centre-backs to just move out with the ball, and so it was kind of a game of chess in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Keenan was man-to-man, Dennis was man-to-man, Ricardo, as you said, man-to-man, so it's not easy. And I think they were quite good to be patient, and at the end we find a solution.
And by championship standards, you've got a nice gap now until the next game next weekend. Is there anything specifically that you want to work on with the group this week?
No, now we have 2 days off, to be honest, after the pre-season and 3 games in the first week. They deserve it 2 days off, and then we start on Tuesday and we see how we prepare next game.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
That was Enzo Maresca speaking to our commentator James Fielden. Matt, what did you make rather of what Enzo said there? He's clearly very happy, isn't he, with that result?
Yeah, of course, and rightly so. But he was looking at different aspects of it, and I mean, probably part of him, he might be a little bit frustrated, but I think he's done well there on the players' behalf. His understanding of the situation, knows how difficult it is to go up against a robust team like Huddersfield were, and they did. Fair play to them. They sort of set Leicester a challenge a little bit, didn't they? They went up against them, made it difficult for them, and they had to come up with, as Enzo says, a solution. Eventually, they did, one way or another. But I think it's encouraging that he's not totally blinkered. He wants to play how he wants to play, but he understands that it's.
He won't be able to do that every
No,
game.
exactly, and he understands the division. He's not being naive and fanciful. Saying,
Every game's different.
I think he appreciates that.
Yeah.
And he takes that into consideration, as well as wanting to play in his own method.
Interesting what he said, pass, and we've looked for a solution, an opening, you've got to be patient. You can see what game he's playing. And it's a Man City style of play. He's obviously in training. They just keep the ball all the time, and even no matter what minute in that game, this is where game management comes in. You've got to be, as a defender, you've got to be careful. And if if there's 2 minutes to go, and I think Faz played a ball into midfield late on into injury time, and it got turned over. Things like that could cost you if you're not careful. So. In some respects, I understand, but sometimes you've just got to turn teams and just give yourself some breathing space, especially with 2 or 3 minutes on the clock, and don't take them risks. But they're going to play out. They've got the ability, they've got the technical ability to do that. We've got good footballers. That's what he wants from them.
Yeah, we've obviously it's worked out today with that 1-0 victory. We've heard already from Enzo Maresca. We'll get some more reaction as well. To watch that, all you need to do is head to the website a little bit later on this evening. There'll also be highlights of today's game if you've missed them so far. We've got plenty more coming up though for you on Fox's Hub. We'll have even more reaction to this fantastic away victory today on Extra Time. That'll be on Monday evening, starting at 6 o'clock. So do join us for that, either on Facebook or on YouTube, or of course on lcfc.com. And then in a week's time, we'll be back again, this time at King Power Stadium, for the third championship game of the season, and it's Welsh side Cardiff City who come here on Filbert Way. So hopefully Leicester can make it 4 wins from 4 at the start of this new season. Big thank you to Matt Elliott and to Steve Walsh for their company with me in the studio today. Thanks again to Jerry Taggart for making the trip over to Yorkshire for us today, where Enzo Maresca and his new side have made it 3 wins from 3 in all competitions at the start of this season. Goodbye.